Once upon a time, in the prosperous kingdom of Aranyagar, there lived a mighty king named Virendra. He was admired for his wisdom and courage, and his people loved him deeply. His only son, Prince Arav, however, was very different. From childhood, Arav lived in his own world of thoughts and fears. While other boys trained in warfare or studied statecraft, Arav would often sit alone, staring at the horizon, troubled by a single idea, the fear of growing old and dying. The very thought of wrinkles, weakness, and death terrified him. "Why must youth fade?" he would whisper to himself. "Why must life end?" As he grew older, this fear turned into a determination. He decided he would conquer death itself and remain young forever. One evening, Arav approached King Virendra. "Father," he said respectfully, "I wish to travel the world for a few years. I want to find a bride of my choice and understand life beyond our kingdom. Once I fulfill my quest, I shall return." The king smiled gently. "My son, I will not stand in the way of your journey. Take gold and supplies with you. Return safely, and may you find happiness." Arav bowed, hiding the truth. He was not searching for a bride, he was searching for immortality. With a pouch of gold and his loyal white horse, Surya, Arav left Aranyagar. On the way through a dense forest, he thought, "What use is all this gold if I can defeat death? I will hide some here and collect it later." He buried part of his treasure beneath an ancient banyan tree and continued onward. For years he traveled through kingdoms and villages. He met merchants, warriors, scholars, and healers. He even befriended a cheerful wanderer named Kiran, who believed that life is precious because it is short. Arav found his words foolish and soon parted ways. One day, after crossing a great forest, Arav arrived at a luminous valley protected by towering silver trees. There he met a graceful woman named Ilara. She introduced herself as the guardian princess of the Valley of Silvaris. "You look troubled, traveler," Ilara said kindly. "I seek a land where no one grows old and death never comes," Arav replied. Ilara smiled softly. "In Silvaris, as long as these silver trees stand, our youth remains untouched. But if the forest is ever destroyed, time will claim us." Arav frowned. "Forests can be cut. Nothing is permanent. I cannot risk loving a place bound to future ruin." Ilara's eyes dimmed, but she nodded. "Then may your search guide you to wisdom." Arav rode away, unconvinced. Years later, he reached the mountain kingdom of Devagiri, where he met Princess Liana. She was bold and intelligent, skilled in astronomy. "In our land," she explained, "we remain youthful as long as the crystal peaks stand. They have stood for centuries." "But mountains crumble. What if one day they fall?" Liana looked at him carefully. "You fear loss so deeply that you refuse to live at all." Still unsatisfied, Arav continued his quest. Eventually, deep within a hidden forest, Surya stopped before a small hut. An old-looking yet strangely ageless man stepped out. "I am Orion," he said calmly. "You seek freedom from aging." Arav's eyes widened. "Yes, can you grant it?" Orion nodded. "In this forest, time stands still. Live here, and you shall remain young, but you must never leave the boundary of this land, and above all, never visit the Lake of Echoes." Without hesitation, Arav agreed. Years passed, then decades. Arav remained as youthful as the day he arrived. Orion would sometimes leave the forest, but Arav stayed behind. Though his face did not age, his heart grew restless. Eternal youth felt strangely empty without purpose. One morning, curiosity overcame him. "What could be so dangerous about a lake?" he muttered. Ignoring Orion's warning, he ventured to the Lake of Echoes. The water shimmered like glass. As he gazed into it, he saw reflections, not of himself, but of his father growing old and dying alone, his mother weeping, his childhood friend Chiron laughing with his own children before fading into dust. He saw Ilara standing among fallen silver trees, her beauty lost to time. He saw Liana watching her crystal peaks crumble. Overwhelmed with grief, Arav fell to his knees. "What have I done? I chased youth and lost everyone." He ran back to Orion. "I must return home. I must find them." Orion looked at him with sadness. "Time has flowed everywhere but here. If you leave now, you will meet only the future." Ignoring the warning, Arav mounted Surya and rode away. He first traveled to Devagiri. The grand crystal peaks were broken stumps. An old woman sat outside the ruins of a palace. "Princess Liana?" Arav asked in disbelief. She smiled weakly. "You returned, but too late. I waited for years." With that, she closed her eyes forever. Heartbroken, Arav rode to Silvaris. The silver trees were gone, replaced by barren land. An elderly woman approached him. It was Ilara. "You see," she said softly, "nothing escapes time." She, too, soon passed away. Finally, Arav returned to Aranyagar. The palace was gone, replaced by farmland. A farmer looked at him strangely when he mentioned King Virendra. "That name belongs to ancient tales. Hundreds of years have passed." Arav's hands trembled. He hurried to the banyan tree where he had buried his gold. He dug desperately until he found the pouch. The coins were ancient and unrecognizable. As he stood there in despair, the ground beneath him grew cold. A majestic, shadowed figure rose from the earth, the Lady of Time. "You have wandered long, Arav," she said calmly. "You escaped me for a while, but not forever." Arav fell to his knees. "Why must life end?" "Because," she replied gently, "because without an ending, life would have no meaning. You feared loss so much that you refused to live at all. Youth without love, time without bonds, what value does it hold?" Tears streamed down Arav's face. He finally understood. It was not death he should have feared, but a life unlived. The Lady of Time extended her hand. "Come, your journey is complete." And with that, Arav vanished into the earth, as all mortals must. Thus the prince who wished to conquer death remained young for centuries, yet gained no joy from it. In the end, he learned too late that immortality without love and companionship is emptiness. The moral of the story is that life is precious not because it lasts forever, but because it does not. We must cherish our loved ones, embrace every stage of life, and live fully in the present. Youth fades, beauty changes, and time moves on, but a life lived with love and purpose is truly timeless.